Hello, everybody. Welcome to our Thursday night product training call. My name is Alan Jones. I'm a nutritional biochemist with over 33 years of experience formulating products, manufacturing products. I've spent the last several years of my life as president and CEO of four different manufacturing companies and pharmaceutical manufacturing companies as well for the last three. And now I have joined Make Wellness as their director of science, and I'm excited to be here. I'm excited to be able to teach you a little bit about our active ingredients that we have, the other active ingredients that we have in our products tonight. So let's get started. Before we get started, I want to kind of go through and I want to kick off with a little bit of a review on peptides. And so we'll talk about what those peptides are. I don't know if you can see my screen yet or not. There we go. So we're going to talk about how do we unlock human potential. And I think it's very important that we kind of get into really the foundation of our company, and that is peptides. And a lot of you guys have heard about peptides. We're doing some consumer marketing right now, consumer surveying right now, and it seems like the knowledge about peptides is fairly solid across the United States, and that's a good thing, except for the fact that most of those peptides are what people really know is therapeutic peptides, and that's a lot different than bioactive peptides. And I'll tell you that that was really hard for me as well, because when I first, started talking with Make and with Justin about coming on as one of the scientists here at Make, I was having a hard time understanding how peptides, how these peptides worked. And let me kind of give you an example of really what we're talking about with the difference between bioactive peptides and therapeutic peptides. So if you look at synthetic versus bioactive, synthetic peptides are made in a lab, and bioactive peptides are made in nature as components of foods. They can be derived from animal foods, plant foods. They can be derived from just about anywhere in nature. And as part of that, there are some benefits to being naturally derived versus laboratory derived. One of the first benefits is that laboratory derived peptides are primarily injectable, and that's because they're very unstable. They're not protected. They'll never make it through the digestive system in the human body. Whereas bioactive peptides are ingestible. They're protected. There is an intuitive protective mechanism built into bioactive peptides. And honestly, guys, I'm a very skeptical person. I'm a scientist. I'm completing my PhD in health sciences. My area of specialty is sarcopenia. One of my biggest parts of my dissertation is on peptides. And so this was one of the things that I was very skeptical about. So it took a lot of research for me to understand how these peptides are basically stable and absorbable through the digestive process. And there is an intuitive protective mechanism within these peptides that allows that to happen. And we'll have further training on that. That's not what tonight is about, but we'll have further training on that here in the very near future. Synthetic peptides, as you can imagine, are extremely expensive, whereas our bioactive peptides, they're affordable. Synthetic peptides, they have very complex usage requirements and instructions. Ours are very simple. And so that's just some of the comparison between some of the synthetic and the bioactive precision peptides that we have here at Make. So let's get started talking about some of our active ingredients in all of our products tonight. Actually, we're going to go through each product one by one, and we're going to talk about the active ingredients in these products so that you guys can start to understand. We haven't released this in the past because we were kind of protecting this information up until now. It's almost time to launch. We're getting close to launching products. And so we feel like now is the time to really start talking about the other ingredients that make our products so powerful. So let's start with FIT and the metabolic matrix technology. So PeptiStrong Plus is the primary active component. It's the primary active ingredient in FIT. That is the FIT that's the material within FIT that promotes muscle protein synthesis. In fact, if you look at it, the synthesis, the amount of muscle protein synthesized by the bioactive peptides in FIT are 4 times more effective than whey protein in enhancing muscle protein synthesis. So the building of muscle. Now, listen, I want to make one thing really clear. Okay. We're not talking about bodybuilding. We're not talking about building big muscles. We're talking about muscle tone and how do we maintain and improve our muscle tone. Everybody that I know wants to maintain muscle tone. Remember this, guys. Strong is the new skinny. Okay. Strong is the new skinny, and maintaining muscle mass keeps us metabolically fit. It keeps us metabolically strong. It keeps our bodies fully functioning and improves our quality of life. So I want you to think about FIT as being the mechanism that allows us to maintain our muscle tone, keep our muscle tone, while at the same time inhibiting that muscle protein breakdown. We reduce chronic low-grade inflammation, which is a major inhibitor of muscle protein synthesis as well. And it also inhibits the expression of a myokine called myostatin. So myostatin is a myokine that is actually released by sedentary or inactive muscles. Contracting muscles release other kinds of myokines, other forms of myokines that actually inhibit myostatin. Our PeptiStrong bioactive precision peptides actually inhibit the expression of myostatin as well. Another tremendous benefit is that we enhance the recovery from exercise-induced muscle damage. You might hear that also called DOMS, or delayed onset muscle soreness. Now listen, let me talk to you about this because it's very important. So one of the downsides of exercise is soreness. And that is one of the things that keeps people from coming back to the gym. They go in, they exercise for the first time, they get really sore, and that soreness will last 2 or 3 or 4 days. But by reducing soreness, which is what we have proven to be able to do with our PeptiStrong Plus, by reducing that soreness, we can better encourage those guys, our colleagues and our clients and our customers, to go get those those workouts in so that they can maintain that muscle tone. So if we can reduce and FIT, the randomized controlled clinical trials of FIT have shown that we significantly reduce the amount of time that people are sore. And so that's an important benefit to the PeptiStrong material. It incorporates the synergistic benefits of the metabolic matrix technology. And I want to expand on that because it's very important that we understand how the metabolic matrix technology works synergistically with the PeptiStrong Plus. Those two combinations make for one powerful product. And so here we're going to get into the components of our metabolic matrix technology. The first is nicotinamide riboside, or you'll see it as NR. NR is a precursor to another nicotinamide or niacin compound called NAD+. Okay, that's nicotinamide adenine dinucleotide plus. Now, NAD+ is critical for cellular energy production and cellular metabolism. NAD+ supports muscle mitochondrial function. NAD+ promotes healthy aging through the activation of sirtuins. Now, Sirtuins, you ask, what are sirtuins? I've never heard of that word. Well, let me tell you what they are. Sirtuins are NAD plus dependent signaling proteins that regulate cellular metabolic processes, okay? Therefore, they improve metabolic health. I'm sorry, I got caught up on not passing our slideshow forward, so I apologize for that. So it improves metabolic health, and NR also enhances cerebral brain levels of NAD. Therefore, it enhances brain function and provides neuroprotection as well. Some other additional benefits of NR are that it supports cardiovascular health, and it's a coenzyme to redox reactions that are critical to energy metabolism. This is for the function and promotion and production of ATP, our cellular energy form of energy. Okay, so that is nicotinamide riboside, one of the components of our metabolic matrix technology. Our next component is magnesium glycinate. So magnesium glycinate, you might ask, why is magnesium a component? Because magnesium is absolutely critical to the production of ATP. So if we don't have any ATP, we have no muscular function because we have no muscular energy. And magnesium glycinate also supports the function of ribosomes involved in protein synthesis. So ribosomes are organelles within our cells that actually help our bodies. They actually produce the proteins that are produced inside our cells, okay? And so ribosomes are essential for proper cellular function and cellular production of other proteins. Magnesium glycinate also regulates muscle contraction and relaxation. It does this through basically a calcium magnesium modulation process. And it's also a cofactor in more than 300 enzymatic reactions in the human body. Now, I want you to think about something when it comes to magnesium. Magnesium deficiency is an issue with about 60% of our population of our country, 60%. And then another 90% do not meet the daily requirements of magnesium. And this is absolutely critical to understand how important magnesium is to cellular function, to muscle function. If we don't have enough magnesium, then there's no way that our bodies can produce proteins. There's no way that our bodies can produce and build muscle tone. And so magnesium is a critical component of that process. The next ingredient is an ingredient called pyridoxal 5-phosphate. Now, this is the biologically active form of vitamin B6. Vitamin B6 is critical to amino acid metabolism. It is critical to building body proteins. It's critical to building muscles. If we don't have adequate levels of the biologically active form of vitamin B6, our body never will build muscle. It will never undergo the process of muscle protein synthesis. So pyridoxal 5-phosphate is an essential cofactor to muscle protein synthesis. It's crucial to the production of neurotransmitters that also regulate muscle function. It's vital to the metabolism of glycogen, which provides energy to working muscles. And it is also a cofactor in more than 140 biochemical reactions related to amino acid biosynthesis. So in other words, for amino acids to be appropriately utilized, adequate amounts of the active form of vitamin B6 must be available. It must be usable by the body. And I'll ask you again, we talked a little bit about it earlier, but what are peptides made of? Peptides are made up of small fragments and chains of amino acids. And so without adequate pyridoxal 5-phosphate, our peptides, our bioactive peptides, cannot operate and function like they're supposed to function. The next ingredient is an ingredient called methylcobalamin, and methylcobalamin is the biologically active form of vitamin B12. Vitamin B12 is crucial to muscle protein synthesis. It influences the metabolism of proteins and amino acids. It supports DNA synthesis and regulation. DNA actually provides the messengers to code proteins, okay? So without adequate levels of vitamin B12, our body will not produce proper protein. It will not produce correct protein sequences. So in other words, what it means is it will produce dysfunctional proteins. That's not good for our body. Methylcobalamin also supports cellular energy production. It maintains healthy nerve function. You might ask, why is healthy nerve function vital to muscle protein synthesis? Because healthy nerve function is crucial for muscular control, muscular strength. So we have to, as we're building that muscle and improving that muscle tone, we have to have proper nerve signals basically activating and utilizing that muscle as well. So healthy nerve function is imperative to properly functioning muscles. Methylcobalamin is a cofactor to enzymes that catalyze the transfer of methyl groups in proteins and nucleotides. This is also very important as a protective mechanism in protecting the quality of the proteins and nucleotides that are produced by our bodies. And it is a coenzyme for the conversion of homocysteine to methionine. Homocysteine is a toxic amino acid derivative to our bodies. And so we have to remove those toxins. If we don't, that toxin will actually impede muscle protein synthesis and muscle function. The next component is vitamin D3. Vitamin D is crucial to optimizing the rate of muscle protein synthesis. A deficiency of vitamin D means our bodies will not produce muscle. It will not synthesize muscle proteins. So vitamin D is crucial to that. It modulates oxidative stress and mitigates reactive oxygen species. That is a protective mechanism. Vitamin D provides a protective mechanisms to our mitochondria. Mitochondria are damaged through oxidative stress and reactive oxygen species, otherwise known as free radicals. So vitamin D has an antioxidant benefit to it by mitigating that oxidative stress and mitigating those reactive oxygen species. Vitamin D3 also supports anabolic signaling pathways. Now, again, like we talked about with magnesium a while ago, understand that vitamin D deficiency is rampant in our country. In fact, potentially as much as 80% of the population of the United States is deficient in vitamin D. Unfortunately, for a large portion of our country, we're coming into the winter months. And from about mid-September to about mid-May, it's very difficult to get adequate, proper levels of vitamin D in the northern hemisphere and the northern part of our country. So we have to pay attention to the amount of vitamin D that we're taking into our body. Vitamin D deficiency is destructive to our muscles. And so without vitamin D, we cannot support muscle recovery. Regeneration and repair will not take place properly, and our satellite cells, which are essential and critical for muscle regeneration and repair, will not become activated and undergo the process of regeneration and repair. The last ingredient is green coffee bean extract. So green coffee bean extract provides about 100 milligrams of caffeine. And let me explain why we put a little bit of green coffee extract in this product. Caffeine enhances glucose uptake in cells. Okay, so it does provide cellular energy because it enhances that glucose uptake. Now, I want to remind you, if you've been on here before, you've heard me talk about the importance of glucose and muscle metabolism. Muscles actually metabolize about 80% of the glucose that comes into our bodies through our diet. They're the largest metabolic organ. And so And we're building more muscle cells as we're synthesizing more muscle proteins. We can utilize more glucose. And so if we can enhance that glucose uptake in the cells, we can provide more energy to those cells and we can nourish those cells at an earlier state. Okay. Now, caffeine also influences fat oxidation and utilization. Again, it's a cellular energy process of utilizing body fat, and caffeine influences the utilization of body fat for energy production. Last, caffeine actually increases mitochondrial biogenesis in skeletal muscles. What that means is that it increases the concentrations of mitochondria in muscle cells. That provides a better cellular function within our muscle cells. Okay, so that's fit. Now, one of the things I want to kind of remind you about, and before I move on to our next product, is the bioactive precision peptides. They are such a powerful tool in the preservation of our health and wellness. And a lot of people can't understand how a bioactive precision peptide works. Well, let me kind of give you a little of an analogy of how a peptide works. If you've got a phone, let's say you've got an iPhone, and basically you have no apps on that phone whatsoever. It's nothing but a communication device. You have to understand that your body is a big communication device. There's all kinds of cellular communication going on. You know, parts of your body, you've got the gut brain axis, you've got the muscle gut axis, you've got the muscle liver axis, you've got a muscle brain axis. You've got all these different organ systems that are constantly communicating with each other. So your body is a phone. If you start adding apps to that phone now becomes a smartphone that has the ability to do a lot of really powerful stuff. And you can kind of look at bioactive precision peptides as the apps that we add to our body to tell our body, to act as messengers, to tell our body to provide a function. And in the specific case of FIT, that function is to increase muscle protein synthesis. So it's like giving our body this messenger, this instruction manual to go in and say, hey, here is the way that you're going to do it. It targets it, it gives it the instructions, and it just optimizes that protein. It amplifies that protein function in the body. And so you can kind of look at it like that. So that'll give you a little bit of an idea of how, in common terms, these bioactive peptides have the ability to work. So let's move to our next product. I'll kind of get through this. I'm getting a little long-winded, and I apologize. We've got a lot to talk about. So the next product is lean, and I want to talk about the active ingredients in lean. Now, I'm going to tell you, lean is my discipline in a bottle. If you look at a lot of the chronic conditions and the things that occur over the lifespan of the typical individual, one of the things that we do really, really bad in most instances is eat. We eat really bad. And if you look at a lot of the things that happen to us later in life, those things occur and happen and are the result of bad discipline, bad lifestyle choices, bad diets, a lot of ultra processed foods, and so on and so forth. And so I look at our lean product as some discipline in a bottle, because the two active ingredients in this product actually help us to do some very important things that help us to get a little bit of discipline in the diet pillar of the 4 pillars of optimal health. And so if you look at the bioactive precision peptides, they come from remember what we talked about a while ago, in nature, you can get bioactive peptides from just about any naturally occurring animal or plant, or even in this case, this is from a yeast, which is a single-celled organism, Saccharomyces cerevisiae. Now, what is that? Everybody's like, what is that? It's brewer's yeast. Very simply, this is a peptide discovered in brewer's yeast. And this particular peptide actually has the ability to regulate the gut-brain axis, which reduces the amount of time that we're hungry. It significantly lowers a hormone that is secreted before meals, typically called ghrelin. And ghrelin, by lowering ghrelin level, we inhibit appetite. It actually helps to increase serum leptin levels, which promotes satiety, which basically removes our hunger as well. And it decreases cravings for sweets. Now, it also lowers the release of another peptide that was released from the hypothalamus. This is an endogenous or internal peptide produced by our body called neuropeptide Y. Now, neuropeptide Y is responsible for fat storage. And so by lowering the release of neuropeptide Y, we actually prevent fat storage. It is also responsible for activating brown adipose tissue metabolism. So by lowering it, we activate brown adipose tissue. What is brown adipose tissue? Brown adipose tissue metabolism increases thermogenesis. It increases the utilization or the, quote, burning of fat on the body. And so doing that actually influences a significant reduction of caloric intake and a significant decrease in both abdominal fat and waist circumference. The other ingredient is a composition of bioactive phenolic compounds. Now, these are from citrus fruits, and guarana is an adaptogenic herb, basically an Indian herb or an Ayurvedic herb, that provides some active phenolic compounds that intensifies free fatty acid metabolism through UCP expression. Now, what is UCP? That stands for uncoupling protein. And uncoupling protein is responsible for an increase in thermogenesis and modulating mitochondrial efficiency. So, in other words, it increases our energy levels. It increases our metabolic capacity. These bioactive phenolic compounds actually increase resting energy expenditure in overweight and obese subjects. Essentially, what that means is we burn more calories while we're at rest. It also increases adipose beiging benefits. Now, what does that mean? It essentially means that it makes stored what's called white fat more metabolically active. In other words, when we start to convert white fat to beige fat to brown fat or brown adipose tissue, we actually are creating a metabolically active form of fat that is responsible for increasing thermogenesis, the generation of heat to the body, and utilizing energy at the same time. It shows that this particular phenolic compounds they improve body composition, which 100% of the body weight loss is from fat mass. There's no loss of lean muscle mass, which is incredibly important because loss of lean muscle mass means loss of metabolic fitness. And also, as in the case of some other products, there is no rebound effect. In fact, what happens is the benefits of these phenolic compounds actually extend long after the use of this product is actually discontinued. Let's go to our next product. Our next product is our Energized product. Energized, I call this productivity in a pouch. I absolutely love this product. You can imagine starting up a company and all the things that we have going on is very draining of energy. And I will tell you right now, all you have to do is take a pouch of Energized, put it in some water, and I'm telling you, you become productive real quick. And so our key ingredients are a balanced energy blend. In this particular product, it contains fatigue fighter peptides. Now, this fatigue fighter peptides are a combination of peptides derived from hydrolyzed whey protein isolate or whey peptide isolate, and then some branched chain amino acids, L-leucine, isoleucine, and valine. We've got some phosphoric acid, which is part of the acidification of the product as well. You've got L-tyrosine and L-phenylalanine, which are precursors to catecholamines and neurotransmitters in our brains. And so what these fatigue fighter peptides, how they work is they actually boost catecholamine production. This enhances our mood, it enhances alertness, enhances our energy level. So what are catecholamines? A lot of people have never heard that word. And catecholamines are neurotransmitters, dopamine and norepinephrine and epinephrine. And these are the neurotransmitters that are responsible for elevating mood, keeping us energized, keeping us alert. And they really focus on our brain functioning at a higher level. They prevent the fatigue fighter peptides prevent fatigue by lowering tryptophan uptake and serotonin synthesis. Both of those actually cause fatigue and impede alertness. They enhance dopamine levels, as we talked a little bit above. That is one of the catecholamines, but enhancing dopamine levels prevents the onset of fatigue and elevates moods. And it enhances motivation by elevating brain tyrosine concentrations. And again, you've got to think tyrosine and phenylalanine are two amino acids that are precursors to these catecholamine, the dopamine, norepinephrine, and epinephrine. Our next ingredient in this is peptides derived from ginseng. And there's two particular peptides that are derived from ginseng. But these ginseng peptides improve mitochondrial function and biogenesis. Now, this is for cellular energy production and cellular health. Ginseng is an adaptogenic, and these are adaptogenic peptides that support adrenal gland function. And so you ask, what is an adaptogen? An adaptogen helps our body adapt to and overcome stress. And stress is a major, major killer of energy. And so if we can provide a mechanism to actually help our body adapt to that stress, then we can help overcome the way stress impedes our ability to have energy. These ginseng peptides, they improve oxygen uptake and utilization, which also prevents fatigue. They enhance the body's antioxidant defense mechanisms. Again, that is a cellular protection against free radicals mechanism. And last, it reduces fatigue and enhances physical performance. The next ingredient is whole coffee fruit extract. Again, we're providing about 100 milligrams of caffeine. And this particular coffee fruit extract is a sustained released caffeine. And so it's not caffeine that's released all at one time. It is a sustained long-term release of that caffeine. It helps to actually enhance the benefits of the catecholamines. So it increases alertness and physical performance. And by using a sustained released caffeine, we prevent overstimulation and we prevent those energy spikes. And guess what? No crash, which most of the canned energy drinks or the energy shots that you can go buy, they have an absolute ton of immediate release caffeine in them, and you get a fast up and you get a hard crash. And so by using a sustained release caffeine combined with our peptides, we prevent that fast up, and it's just a very gentle, nice rise. In fact, a lot of people really won't even know it, but they'll sit down 4 or 5 hours later and think, wow, I got a lot done. And so that's the benefits of our energized product. Our next product is our Make Wellness Focused. Our Focused, this product is incredible. And I can't wait for you guys to get to try this product. I call it our Get It Done product. We have productivity in the bottle. I love Energized and I love Focus together, and I take them together every chance I get. It's my, you guys know that have heard me before. You know that I'm in the process of finishing my PhD and working on my dissertation right now. And having that Focus combined with that Energized, that's my PhD in a pill. I will tell you right now. So Focused is an incredible, and our Cognitive Focus Power Blend uses a combination of ginkgo bioactive precision peptides combined with some other herbal and botanical ingredients. But ginkgo bioactive precision peptides, it supports blood flow and nutrient delivery to the brain. They have extremely powerful antioxidant properties that reduce oxidative stress and protect brain cells directly in the brain. And it promotes healthy brain function and improves mental clarity. Next ingredient is Bacopa Monnieri extract. Bacopa is one powerful Ayurvedic herb. It's been used for literally thousands of years for cognitive enhancement. It is an incredibly powerful mental focus and attention booster for the brain. It increases memory formation. It increases short-term memory recall, and it enhances the retrieval of long-term memory. So Bacopa is a very, very well-researched, very long-used herb with very specific cognitive enhancement and brain enhancement functions. The next ingredient is phosphatidylserine, and phosphatidylserine is a critical phospholipid that is crucial for cognitive function because it supports cell membrane health in the brain. And what that basically means is if we don't have strong brain cells, then our brain cells are not going to function properly. And phosphatidylserine is a phospholipid that helps us to build very, very strong brain cells by supporting that cellular membrane health. So it provides that structural integrity that our brain cells need. Now, here's some of the beautiful things about phosphatidylserine is that it supports neuroplasticity in our brain. What the heck does that mean? Neuroplasticity is our brain's ability to build memory. Okay. Neuroplasticity is our brain's ability to build new connections, brain cell to brain cell connections, new nerve connections as well, brain cells to nerves. And so phosphatidylserine actually supports that neuroplasticity as we're building more brain cells, as we're building, listen to this, because as we build more muscle cells, we have to have those nerve connections. That's where that muscle brain axis comes into play. And phosphatidylserine can actually support that by supporting neuroplasticity. Phosphatidylserine also improves memory and cognitive performance. Once again, our next ingredient is lutein, a combination of lutein and zeaxanthin. Now, most people know that this is good for eye health, and it is. And so these are basically natural carotenoids. They have very, very powerful antioxidant properties. They support eye health and visual processing, but eye health and visual processing are incredibly important components of brain health. Lutein and zeaxanthin have also been shown to protect against age-related cognitive decline, and they increase a myokine called brain-derived neurotrophic factor, or BDNF. And if you pay attention to a lot of the brain-related products that are out there, they talk about BDNF. Now, what does BDNF do? BDNF also promotes neuroplasticity, just like phosphatidylserine does. BDNF is also a neuroprotective factor that helps to protect against neurodegeneration. Neurodegeneration, that leads to cognitive decline, that leads to dementia, that leads to other serious issues later on. And so BDNF is a protective mechanism that fights against neurodegeneration. So that is the end of our peptide-based products. And now we have two more products that are precision peptide support products. Let's talk about those real quick. Our first product is Hydrated. And basically, Hydrated, it's like just taking a big drink of water and electrolytes for your cells so that you can just quench your cells' thirst. And there are some very, very important ingredients and very important reasons why you want to maintain cellular hydration. But one of the key ingredients is a mineral compound that is actually derived from the Great Salt Lake. It's actually mined from the Great Salt Lake, called Solar Sea Sport AC. And Solar Sea Sport, this electrolyte composition, supports the function and activation of our bioactive precision peptides. So without proper amounts of hydration and electrolytes, the messengers that are our bioactive precision peptides cannot possibly make it from ingestion all the way to their targeted sites. And so hydration optimizes the function of those bioactive precision peptides by opening up those pathways, by making sure that those pathways are well, I'll call it lubricated, but well lubricated, and able to allow those messengers to go hit their target so that that mechanism of action can be released on that target. Without proper hydration, without proper electrolytes, those cell signaling pathways cannot possibly operate, okay? And so if you look at the powdered inulin C concentrate, it supports the function and activation of bioactive peptides. Hydration and electrolytes are essential to the proper function of cell signaling pathways, what I was just talking about. It maintains cellular fluid balance, and they're ionic minerals, and ionic minerals actually are better absorbed and utilized than either organic or inorganic mineral salts. The next ingredient is coconut water powder. And coconut water powder is very rich in electrolytes, and it's naturally isotonic. What isotonic means is that it means that it has basically the same concentration of electrolytes as blood and plasma. And so coconut water is a tremendous electrolyte because of that isotonic nature. It improves metabolic and exercise capacity, and coconut water has been shown to actually support heart health as well. The last ingredient in our hydrated product is glycine. So glycine facilitates the transport of water and electrolytes across cell membranes, and it does it better than glucose. We did not want to take and put a lot of glucose or sugar into our hydration drinks. And so therefore, we decided to use glycine as an electrolyte, as a fluid balance enhancer. And glycine will actually regulate that electrolyte balance. It increases the efficiency of sodium and fluid absorption compared to that glucose. And as well, an additional benefit is that it supports energy metabolism. So the last product I'm going to talk about is our Calm product. And let me tell you something, it might be last, but it is certainly not least, because this may be my favorite product. This product is like, I was explaining it the other day when I was when I was on a Zoom. I was like, this is like wrapping up on a cold winter day. It's like wrapping up in a warm blanket near a fireplace and just absolutely chilling and relaxing and just enjoying life. And that's what Calm makes you feel like. There are some incredible ingredients in our Calm. The first one is ashwagandha. Ashwagandha is an ancient Ayurvedic herb. It is an adaptogenic herb. We talked a little bit about adaptogens a while ago. Adaptogens help our body overcome and adapt to stress. But this ashwagandha helps our body manage stress. And ashwagandha has been shown to help improve sleep quality and reduce anxiousness. Again, sleep is one of those 4 pillars of optimal health. And so our Calm product actually helps to facilitate higher quality sleep. Lemon balm extract is another ingredient. The lemon balm extract, and lemon balm is an herb from the mint family. It's known for its calming properties, and it also enhances mood and cognitive function as well. Our next ingredient is an amino acid called GABA. GABA is a natural neurotransmitter in the brain. It promotes relaxation and reduces nervous system activity. In fact, when you take our product, one of the things that you will feel in this product is you'll feel a warmth come over your body. And I can promise you that this is going to happen because that's the way we designed the product to happen. But it is GABA that is giving you that just natural, that muscle relaxation, that warmth, that nice feeling of relaxation, and just it helps with sleep. It helps with removing anxiety, keeping you from being anxious. GABA is a tremendous amino acid. And then the last ingredient is another amino acid called L-theanine. And L-theanine is an amino acid, believe it or not, that is derived from green tea. L-theanine is a tremendous stress reducer, and it helps us get rid of anxious feelings. It promotes relaxation. It does it without drowsiness. It improves focus and attention, and it also supports cardiovascular health. So I can't wait for you guys to get to try the Calm product. Like I said, it is one of my favorites. It is a product that will absolutely change your life. And guys, all you got to do is look at the incidence of stress and stress-related illnesses and diseases that are plaguing our country. We are overly stressed, and the Calm product is going to have tremendous benefits in helping us get control of that. And that goes back to our underlying foundation of using bioactive peptides to basically take control of our body so that we can basically live the life that we want. Take control of it. Don't become the norm. The norm today is 5 drugs, end up in a nursing home, have a poor quality of life. That's not what we want at Make Wellness. We want a quality of life that nobody else has ever seen before. And just understand, these 6 products are just the beginning. I want you to understand that. We have a very aggressive product plan over the next couple of years. And so these first 6 products are our 6 launch products, and we're going to have numerous more peptide-based products. So I want to tell you guys how much I appreciate you, how much I appreciate you spending the evening listening to this. And I hope that you guys have a great evening. And I hope you learned something. And I'll see you next Thursday on next Thursday's product training call. Have a good night.